Hi everybody, we're Wendy and Chris from Meeple Overboard, and today we are playing Cooper Island.
Wait, this is not Cooper Island?
No, it's not a cooperative game. Very much not.
I feel lied to! I'm just kidding, I don't. This is Cooper Island. Koopa. This is a game by Oda, I think is how it is pronounced. Capstone Games is the publisher, and this is quite a hot game at the moment.
It is. So this is a game basically where we are doing a worker placement area over here, and we are essentially building up these peninsulas on this nice little island that our friend Cooper, the dog, discovered.
Yes, Cooper, the first settler of the island, so that'll make everybody happy. People love dogs for some reason. I'm allergic, so I don't I don't get the appeal, but also things that make it harder for me to breathe I generally tend to dislike. But that's aside from the point. Dog discovered the island, so now we are on the quest to best island up the island and make it worth the most victory points.
So the way we score victory points is on these little sandbars. There you go. These little sandbars as we go across. We're moving our boats. Every time we gain helm points, which are these nice little circles down here with numbers on them, as we gain helm points, we move through these sandbars, and they are our score trackers. We have two ships, and they can move their respective directions.
Yep, and however far we've moved them at the end of the game will be the amount of points that we have, plus a few little end game things a lot we'll be able to get along the way, mostly just these cards down here. So what's interesting too is that over the course of the game, what we'll be doing is we'll be laying out some of these called islet tiles, which have these bonuses that stick out into the ocean and cover up part of the sandbar. When we play these out, we'll immediately get whatever the bonus is. So for this one, for example, it says draw an extra one of these tiles. These tiles will be the lifeblood of how we place more stuff onto the island. And as we go ahead and earn, as Wendy pointed out, more of these helm points, we'll get to move our ships that direction. If we pass a bonus that's been laid out over an islet tile like this, we get that bonus a second time, including if I'm able to move this all the way around and cross some of the islet bonus tiles that Wendy's placed out, I'll be able to collect some of those bonuses as well.
Super nifty. So basically there's four main ways to get helm points in this game. There are your income boats, which make it so that your income is greater every round. You just get stuff. There are these buildings, shipping goods, and building statues, eventually pulling off these rubbles of marble and turning them into statues. Those are the main ways to get helm points. Also, there's endgame points, as Chris said. We can choose one card as our own as we upgrade workers and get more workers, as every worker placement does. And basically, we trade them in at the end of the game, or not trade them in, but at the end of the game, they are worth a certain amount of points based on criteria met.
Yeah, how many shipments we're able to do, if we were able to build a lot of areas tall, build buildings, or cover up a lot of area. And there's like 8 or 10 of these or so. I forget exactly how many, but I think there's 8. And so in a 2-player game, you shuffle up and deal 4 of them out. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the brief overview that you need. Oh, also this is a worker placement game. So this is the main worker placement area over here. Circle workers can go onto circle spots, and you can share an area with another player. However, if Wendy were to place her worker, say, on top of my disc, she would have to pay me 1 resource from her very restricted resource area or off of her island. As you see, I have all these resources sitting here that are not supposed to. That was from a setup test of the video.
Also, as you upgrade workers, you can upgrade to squares, and it is hip to be square in this game because square areas have extra bonuses, taking both parts of the action, -2 resources to build something, extra islet bonuses. They're very awesome things that you can get from having your square workers.
It is indeed, as Huey Lewis predicted many, many years ago, hip to be square. And so we'll go over exactly what that means. I guess one last nifty concept is that, we also, start with food there. When you upgrade a circle worker into a square, you lose the circle worker forever, and that's how you can claim one of these endgame bonus objectives, and only one person can do that. So that's even though a lot of the game is multiplayer solitary, right? You're just building up your own peninsula. This is the part that feels like the knife fight in the phone booth. We're like, don't you dare! I need that.
It's very true. So we're going to go ahead and let Chris begin He's going to be first player, but we all at the same time receive our income. That is a step in, not a step, but the letter A step of the game. So over here we have our income. We receive anything in this column that we have upgraded to. Thus far, we only start with the income of one islet tile of our choice, and then placing one regular tile of our choice. We only start with 2 tiles randomly from the bag.
Yes, so the islet tiles are shared, or are the exact same between us. They offer the same bonuses, they have the same land type, whereas there are different combinations of tiles out there that cover all 4 different land resource types, and so therefore you get a random draw of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of narrate what my opening move is. Wendy's going to take hers at the same time. I'm going to place this islet tile out. This particular islet tile allows me to get to draw another tile from the bag. And there's a huge bag full of tiles, and boom, I've got that one. So I've got some real variety in my tiles here. Immediately, this is going to be populated with a single resource of the type matching the landscape. So these black ones are mountainous mines. So it would immediately produce, as soon as you lay something on there, the mines are going to produce silver. And so then when you build out, Wendy, why don't you explain briefly kind of how you built out over there?
Okay, so when you build, you have to build adjacently, and you cannot build on top of any of these rubble areas. Also, you want to make sure that you're leaving spaces for future islet tiles. So I did not put anything here because I want future islet tiles to go there. So let me move my boats back. So basically, I built out here. I got to place my single tile and my islet. I got the bonuses go directly on top of them. Whatever they produce, go on there. So I've got my silver, my 2 foods, and my wood. And then I instantly get this bonus. So I took 1 food and 1 silver.
Very cool. So my islet tile allowed me to draw an extra tile, so I did. And now what's interesting about the game is that if you want, instead of building outwards from where you already have, you can also build upwards. And this is going to be a little bit harder visually with a top-down camera, so we'll explain a little life hack that we're going to do for it. If I wanted to, I could build mountain above mountain and farm above farm, like so.
Building rules are that you have to always build the same thing on top of itself. You can never build a farm on top of a mountain.
I can't put a forest over here on top of the farmland.
The only
and such.
exception are the villages. They can build on top of anything.
Yes, and that's because the village people are so popular. Do, 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 do,
I think
do,
really
do,
it's
do.
just because people can build homes anywhere.
Oh, that's fair. So, what I'm going to do for my first build is I'm actually going to build over what's existent here, and I'm going to utilize that village rule. So, I'm going to build mountain over mountain, which is always legal, and village over any other type of landscape. And now you'll say, Chris, you already have cubes there. What do you do? Is this a dexterity game? It is not. I'm going to overbuild any cubes that were previously there. I have to be able to move them to my very limited hold here.
So that's an anytime action, moving cubes from your board onto your hold.
So I've done that, and now this will automatically populate. So what'll happen is this will produce another silver, and this village produces cloth, purple
Silk.
cloth, silk or cloth. I forget what the rulebook calls it exactly. One of the hard things that's a little less intuitive for me is that farmlands make pink cubes, which is food. I guess it's ham. Mountains make silver or gold. Forests make wood. I get that part. It's just weird to me to not put a yellow cube on a yellow landscape. You put pink on the yellow landscape, but that's fine.
But they're farmlands, honey. Sheep, cattle, all food.
Yeah, but why
Crops.
Why are they pink? I don't grow pink crops. Anyway, so it's ham. It's ham in my mind. Okay, so anyway, to make this easier to visualize and remember the fact that this is actually built up too high, normally a single cube here at level 2 means that it actually counts as 2 of that resource. And so one would have to memorize and say, oh yeah, this single cube represents 2. If I ever want to pay a cost that says pay 2 stone, I pay a stone off of a level 2 landscape, and that pays all 2 of them. But for the sake of the video, I think what we're going to try is this. we're going to actually put out multiple cubes, however many high that is when it produces, just so the top-down view has an easier time seeing, oh, this is that many high. I'm going to have to spend all of these at once. If I had something that only cost 1 stone, you don't get change in the game. So I'm going to visually make that hopefully easier. Don't actually play that way if you're just playing in good company and friends.
Definitely. So super clarification, those extra cubes on top are only for visual reference for the viewers.
Ooh, yeah, we're so nice.
Let's not make 7 tall stacks.
Yeah, we'll try not to. We'll figure out something if we end up getting ridiculous.
Okay, so that was our income phase. We go ahead and started with that. You got everything you needed from there. You got your draw. You've got all of your cubes out. I have mine. So the next phase is the actual worker placement phase. So we will go back and forth, Chris, me, to take our 2 worker placement actions.
Correct. Starting with Cooper, because he's such a good boy. Yes, so now, let's see. My first action I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go over here. I want to take this action. So we'll explain what the actions are kind of as we take them, and if we haven't used one in a round or two, we'll just explain what it does. But this is to get a little bonus resource called Helm Points. Helm points. I'm going to get 3 of them, so I move this little tick here. 1, 2, 3. Hooray! Helm Points are a bonus action you can use once per turn to make it easier to build extra stuff out on your island. And so what I'm going to do is I'll demonstrate that later. I now also get to choose either 1 coin or a resource, and I'm going to grab a resource cube. Actually, wait, am I going to go... Oh boy, I hope that I have room in my hold. Oh yeah. I'm going to grab a resource cube, and it's going to be pink. It's going to be some ham. Moo moo ham. Okay, so that's my whole turn right then and there.
Okay, my turn is going to be to draw one out of the bag, a tile, and then to place a tile. So reach across there in everybody's view.
And it doesn't have to be the tile that you drew.
It does not. So I drew this tile. Now, I don't know if we explained this or not, but every tile has every 4 landscape on it. So there are essentially 3 different possible tiles that you can draw. 3 different combinations. So I drew that one, and it's identical to the other 2 I had. So I'm just going to have so much wood and so much food. So I'm going to take both of these off. I'm going to place them in my little place here. My, what do you call that?
Play place? Make a play place?
No.
Your hold, I believe
My
it's
hold.
called.
Okay, I have a level 2 food here now and a level 2 wood here.
Hooray! Okay, so that was your action, nice and simple. And so what I'm going to do now is really exciting. So at any time, there are multiple anytime actions you can take. One of them is to spend helm points. So to be completely discreet, what I'm trying to do is I want to meet the requirements of this sail right here. If I want to sell to this ship, I have to provide 3 gold and 2 cloth to here in order to be able to finish my delivery to the ship. A small rule is that this is the round tracker of the game, round 1, round 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 whole rounds to the game. I want to be able to sell here. I would also technically get a discount of 1 of these resources for the Harbor Master McMahon being here on this space. But I'm going to actually go ahead and complete this at full price because I'll show you why I cannot actually get a real discount at it. So my bonus action, my free anytime action, is to spend helm points. I am going to spend 3 helm points to place out a single tile out onto a level 2, 3, or 4 out on the map. So 1, 2, 3 helm points, all of them that I got, I'm going to spend them because I'm going to take one of these single tiles here. You never draw single tiles, you only draw the double tiles. Kind of like dominoes, like you have these in your hand, like an available pool, and you can play them out. This is like high stakes dominoes is all this game is.
There you go.
So I'm going to draw this single mountain, and I spent 3 helm points to just go ahead and overbuild right here. Meaning this level 2 single cube, remember this is technically a single cube, is going to go to my hold, and it's no longer a level 2. It is now just a single cube in my hold, therefore I don't actually get that benefit of it having come from a higher level doesn't matter. With my 3 helm points, I'm going to overbuild here, and now that I have a level 3 mountain, I can put out either 3 silver or 3 gold.
Basically, he's upgraded his mine to find fancier stuff.
I guess the higher you dig up in the mountains, the more gold you find? I thought gold came from rivers or something like that, but I'm no prospector. So that was simply my bonus anytime action, and so now my regular action, I'm going to come right here, and I'm going to complete a shipment. So this shipment action says that I just pay whatever the cost is over on any one of these ships. You can always fulfill a contract for a higher value ship if you meet the requirements there, but I don't. I don't quite meet the requirements for this one because I only have 3 gold instead of 5, so I'm going to do this one. And I'm foregoing that technical discount because I'm going to spend all 3 gold, remembering that I have to spend this as if it was a single cube worth 3 level. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Level 3 gold. And level 2 silk or cloth or whatever this is from a village. And I've now completed the payment for this, so I get a few things. 1, I get a point. So I'm going to take a helm point, and when you gain a helm point, you can move either ship. I'm obviously going to move the one that gives me a bonus, so I'm going to reach across, Inferno Air, buddy, and draw another tile, another tile that I'll get to place out here in the future. Very nifty. Oh boy. Very good for me. So, the last thing I'm going to do is another free anytime action. I'm going to complete this actually. So I get my point, and I take off this crate. There's a lot of great components in the game, and then there's these teeny cardboard shits. It's the only thing it can even just be a cube. So now this chit is going to go down here, and I can, as I want at any time, place this out somewhere to get whatever bonus. I can get 2 coins, I can get 2 cubes. I don't want those because I don't have any room in my hold, therefore I would lose out on them at the end of the round. I could gain 2 helm points, which would make it easier for me to place out more tiles in the future. I could take this action to place out a tile, or this action to draw a tile. And I might want to place and kind of start working towards whatever my next thing is going to be. I might need to actually get some more food out and stuff. But in the meantime, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play this, which is gain 2 helm points. 1, 2 helm points. And now this is locked in until I take a special later action to unlock it. So that is my very productive second turn.
I think so. I think mine's going to be a little simpler and straightforward. So I'm going to come here to the build a building route. Sadly, I don't have a square worker yet, so I don't get the beautiful discount there.
And sadly, this is not build a bear, it's build a building.
That's true. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to build one of these small buildings, which costs $1. Thank goodness I have $1. It costs 2 wood and 2 silver. So I have 2 wood sitting right here. I'm going to spend that with my $1. And then I have 1 silver and another silver. That's all I need. It gains me 1 helm point, which will move me over here, and I get to place this building. Now there is a rule restriction on this building, and that is that it has to be on your highest spot in your area. Well, silly old me do I want to put it over here, or I can choose to take off these 2 cubes and make it only 1, put it in here, and build it there on that area. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to build it on my wood. So I'm going to go ahead and place it there. Now I crossed over this right here. Well, I said this was going to be simpler, but I don't think it actually is. I'm going to take a wood.
Very good. Wood is good.
Wood is good. And I get another pink food cube. I am drowning in food right now.
That's the way I want to go out.
Okay.
All right. So you're forgetting one great thing. You built a small building.
So I get to pick 1 of 4 cards for upgrades. Now this one says your supply cost for cargo ships is reduced by 1 gold or 1 cloth, your choice.
Vast, I would love that, but I'll never see it this game.
This counts as 2 extra storage spots for coins. If both storage spots are occupied at the end of the game, it's an extra victory point. That could be nifty. This counts as 2 extra storage spots for gold or cloth. If both are filled, it's 1 extra point. And this is whenever you supply a cargo ship, draw a double landscape tile from the bag. Wow, all of these have to do with cargo ships because they're gold and cloth. Goodness gracious. Well, I guess this is money. I'm going to take a second to think about this while Chris goes ahead and takes you through the end game rounds.
So now at the end of the round, so we've done A, which was income, B, which is worker placement, C is now kind of the cleanup phase of the game. So we have to pay 2 food. We have to pay however much food we have, and food we owe for our workers, I should say. So at the start of the game, with no workers upgraded or no additional workers or anything, we have to pay 2 food. So I'm going to pay these 2 ham cubes out of my storage locker. So kapow, I've paid food. Wendy went ahead and paid food as well, I assume.
I did.
Step 2 of cleanup over here says that you can pay 2 coins to reactivate a one-time use card. None of us have built a large building, so therefore we don't have those. Or you can spend a single coin to unlock one of your one of these things here, which is the crates that you get from shipment. So remember how I got those 2 helm points right here? Woo! Well, I just moved this back over, and I can get even more. Next up is some scoring, potential scoring. If you have built a statue out on the board, so if you've taken a rubble off and then taken the statue build action and you build it out onto your board, you will score 1 point for every statue that you have out. None of us have statues. If you can fill in these 3 hexes here of your peninsula closest to the main island, you score an additional victory point at the end of every round. And so this next step here says to recollect your workers. So we'll just go ahead and take those bad boys back. The next step here says that if you have any items here in your temporary hold, you have to lose them. So if I had gained a bunch of stuff over here and then I didn't have room in my permanent hold to store onto them, then this would just go away. And then the last step is that we advance the man or woman. It kind of looks like she's wearing a dress. It's the harbor master?
I think so.
Harbor master. So that is an entire round. So then you just keep playing 5 whole rounds of it like this, going back to the income, doing worker placement, and then doing the cleanup stuff.
So I'm actually taking this benefit for my card. So my supply cost for cargo ships is reduced by 1 gold or 1 cloth, my choice, which means if I purchase from the harbor master, he's first come, first served. But if I purchase from him, then I get a 2 discount essentially between the 2.
Huh.
Which could be really nice.
That could be really nice. All right. So I retain first playerhood fullness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I now get to choose what bonus I'm going to put out, what islet that I would like to use. And I think that what I'm going to do, I think that I'm good here to place out this one, which will immediately give me a single silver production. And then the islet says that I can take a wood or silver cube and a food cube and put it in my hold. Now I just need to think if I can actually do that or not. Yes, I think that I can. Because once again, if you run out of space in your hold, that's a bad thing. Bad thing.
It's a very bad thing, which is why I'm upgrading mine.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing about building these small buildings. You get these permanent upgrade abilities. You get more space in your hold.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's good. The only problem is that you can't overbuild tiles on top of a building or a statue. So they have to go to your highest available, and they shut off like a huge production engine. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Is this the one that I want to put out? Because this round, I'm going to try and score a point. And if I don't spend stuff from here first, and I cross over this, I just don't get that benefit. Is that correct? Right? Like if my hold is full, and then I cross this threshold here,
you just forfeit what you got.
Isn't that the main word used in the
It
rulebook?
is. It's in like every section. If you can't fit it in your hold, you forfeit it.
You know what I'm going to do then? Okay. I think that my islet tile is going to be...
How about we let Chris think for a second? I'll explain what I'm doing. So I am placing this islet right here, which gives me another food, and I'm still drowning in food, so I think we're okay there. This gives me one of these little cartographer points, which I'm going to, actually I'm not going to use. I was going to use, but now I'm not going to. I'm going to place this tile so this cube is going into my hold, and I'm going to put this down right here. So I will now have 2 silver and 2 cloth/silk right there. Did you already explain how to do the extra level?
The single cartographer point? Not yet.
So
but I'm going to do it.
Oh, you're going to do it. Okay, Chris is going to do it. Then I don't have to explain what I was thinking of doing that I changed my mind on.
Okay, very nicely Nicerson. So what I'm going to do, so this is my islet bill. I changed it to getting a cartographer point because cartography is excellent and it should be taught in all kindergarten classes. I don't understand why we're not teaching how to draw maps anymore, but first it was cursive, then it was cartography.
It's not like satellites do that for us now.
So I get a cartography point immediately, and when I cross this again, I'll get a cartography point, which is better than running short of my hold. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this bad boy right here. I'm going to overbuild here, but therefore I'm going to choose to use a free anytime action to move this pink cube here. I want to build like this, but I have no extra tile underneath here, so how can I do such a thing? Well, I can spend 1 cartography point to stick a tile for free down here simply as a means of being able to build something that would otherwise be hanging off. It doesn't produce. I would have to spend 2 cartography points to get that to happen. So instead, I'm just going to do this. This is what I'm doing. So I produce 2 silk, remembering that this is supposed to be 1 cube normally. I'm going to produce 2 food, and therefore I'm good for food for the round, likely. Oh yeah, can I even have 1 free here, and then I've got a level 2 over here. So that was my income, and we don't have any income boats, so no additional income.
And we may see if any of us actually do income boats. That is the interesting thing about this game, is there are 4 main ways of getting points, and we may not get to all of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this stuff a lot, I think, is what I'm planning on doing, and I have no idea if I'm gonna actually be able to do like anything else. So, okay. That was that.
I already did my income phase.
Oh no.
Do you not have a tile you need? Like we said, there's 3 different variations, and if you need one of those 3 and don't get it, it hurts a little bit. I
was thinking I was going to be able to build over here, but now I realize I don't actually have the tile for that. I don't have the mountain connected to village tile. Oh dear.
Looks like you're getting cartography points.
I might have to get cartography points. Oh dear. I planned this poorly, but I do have this bonus action, so I could get more cartography points. Oh my.
While Chris is thinking, I'm going to use an anytime action. Down here, there are some trade and anytime actions while he's thinking. You can trade 2 cloth for $1. You can trade 2 gold for any cube of your choice, even a gold, which doesn't make sense. No, I'm just kidding. Or you can trade 4 cubes or 4 coins for any coin or cube that you desire. So I'm going to trade, I'm sorry, I didn't put out my 2 levels. This is technically, or the visual representation. So this is 2 cloth here. I'm going to spend 2 cloth to trade in for 1 coin.
Silly Wendy, trying to play by real rules instead of our weird fake made up ones. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go, oh boy. Okay, so I need fabric, I need mountain. I think I know my way around this. So I'm going to once again come over here for 3 cartography points. So I'm at level 2, I'm at 2, 1, 2, 3, I'm at 5. If you ever go past 6, you forfeit all extra benefit. I think it's the way the rule book says, right? If you can't hold something or get something, you forfeit it all. So I'm getting the cartography points. Instead of getting a coin or a cube, I'm going to go ahead and get a silk or a cloth or whatever it's called. that'll be that there for this first turn.
So I actually want to explain, these little arrows point to your marketplace. Your marketplace is a holding place only for a couple specific things. Any of these trade-ins, these things that you spend your box tops for education. What are those called? Crate lids. Any of your crates for, or anything that someone gives you when they go on the same space as you. That are the only things that this marketplace is for. You cannot spend stuff directly from here. It has to go into your hold first. But I can hold this here for now before spending it if I want to.
Until this end of round thing.
When it empties out, yes. But normal income and stuff cannot go down here. So this is going to go ahead and go up there as an anytime action. You can move it up. So I want it there because for my action, I'm going to go ahead and build another building again.
How dare you?
Look at me being so on top of things. So this...
Your buildings are indeed on top of things.
They are. So this is 2 silver, 2 wood, and $1, which we all know is how you get your second little building out. So this little building is worth 1 point by itself. But anything that is placed or is any structure built on top of a city is worth an additional point, which is what this little spot up here on the board means. I'm going to build it here and gain 2 helm points. So I'm going to move 1, 2, and I'm going to gain another cartographer point from that.
Oh, snap.
And then I get to draw another card. 1, 2, 3, 4. As I explained these to you all, this says... When you feed your workers, you may pay 2 additional food to gain an additional helm point. I could do that this round. And, yeah, that could be good, potentially.
Could be Miss Food Queen, yeah.
Whenever you build an income boat, gain 1 step on your cartographer track. Well, I'm already set up to start doing these shipping things. I'm not sure I'm going to do boats. Whenever you supply a cargo ship, gain a coin from the general supply. Ooh, that could be useful with my current strategy up ahead. And this says, whenever you gain a logbook token, also gain 1 coin from the general supply, if you can store it. So logbook points are when you get here or here. It's essentially a 5-point marker saying you've moved 5 points. And you draw a random little thing and you get whatever the benefit on the back. And then you count the difference from for like your logbooks, and then you count the difference. It's supposed to make it easier to count your score at the end of the game.
Or you can just count how many steps, but yeah.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to take that ship one, the shipping one, because I want to compete with Chris on that. Actually, I'm mostly just doing it because the card's laid out that way. So I like discounts and I like bonuses, and that's a good combination.
Discounts and bonuses are nice, yes. Okay, so you have finished your build little building actions, right?
I did.
So your hold is now at maximum capacity, and mine is not. Okay, so now what I'm going to do on my turn is I'm going to take a build anytime or an anytime action. So I have to once again spend 3 cartography points, 1, 2, 3, that familiar 3 that I got, to build a single tile, build a single hex on my 4th level. So I'm going to go ahead and put...
I forgot something.
Sure, go for it.
I forgot that I get a new worker. So these right here, we didn't explain yet. So the first time you get 2 buildings, you get 2 statues, 2 income boats, or you've shipped 2 crate lids, you get to take one of these things and move it over to a bonus. I could get 2 helm points, but that would be silly at the beginning of the game. I'm going to unlock another worker. I have my choice between circles and squares. It is hip to be a square, but I want an additional action this round. So I'm going to actually take the circle.
Okay, very good. So just to rehash now what I'm doing, as an anytime action, even before I put out a worker, spending 3 helm points to put out another mountain hex on the 4th level. It costs 3 helm points to do that. 4 helm points if you're going to build at level 5 or higher.
Ooh, that is a lot of gold.
That's a lot of gold. And remember that this is just virtually actually 1 cube, whatever. So my action is I'm going to go back and ship to be square. What? No, I'm going to ship to these areas. As I mentioned, you don't have to ship to where this exactly is, since I have, I don't have the extra gold. If I had taken a gold here instead of a cloth, I could have, you live, you learn. So I'm going to do this one here, because wherever the harbor master is, you get a 1 discount. So I'm going to take the discount in cloth, because this is 2 cloth, right, from a single cube. This is a 3rd cloth. So I'm going to take the 1 discount in cloth, and then I'm going to spend 2 gold. Well, this is remembering that there's no change, because this is a single gold cube at level 4. So I'm kind of way overpaying for it. I wish that I'd taken a gold here instead of a cloth, because then I could have gotten this one for 2 helm points. I'll make it up next round. So I have now spent all of that. For this one here, I get a nether crate lid, which is great. And then I get my 1 helm point. So I cross this here, I gain a nether cartography point. So I'm pretty happy. I'm kind of rolling in this. And so I can spend more to get more stuff kind of moving and a grooving, rocking and a reeling Barbara Ann, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. Please stop me. My mouth is running. I need to think about if I'm going to take some of these bonus actions.
Real quick, get your extra worker now.
Right. Yes. I've unlocked 2 shipments. Therefore, I'm going to go ahead and claim a circle worker. I'm going to claim this one, which only costs me 1 additional food every round. If you grab these ones that cost 2 additional food, you also get a helm point, but I'll worry about that later. So, that is done. The end of quite a turn.
Okay, so for my next action, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to draw 2 out of the bag because I have nothing.
One of the interesting things about this game is that you want to have excess tiles just chilling here because, going into the start of a round, because part of the income at the start of a round is to get more stuff. So, yeah, that's really interesting.
So this is obviously an either or, either draw 2 or place 2. I chose to draw 2.
Right. Okay. So I have to think about this going into the next round. Part of my lack of foresight cost me the ability to do this. So I want to make sure that I can try and do this next round. I have an area where I'm going to be able to produce the gold. I have an area where I'm going to be able to produce the cloth. I can stick this person over here to get 2, what's that called? 2 helm points, which I could then spend to build more stuff out. I have 1 more action, and I have to really think about what I want to do with all of it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to... I'm not really in a useful position. Okay, so this action here is to clear out rubble or take a cleared out rubble and build it out as a statue. I'm not really in shape to do that. We haven't really done this action yet. This is the Cooper. Grab the first player marker action, draw a tile or place a tile, and also get 1 helm point. As Wendy mentioned, these both, for the square areas, have pluses, which means do both sides of it. This one is the build a boat action, and this one is draw and place. So I think that this... Okay, let me think about this. You can only spend helm points a single time per turn. Is that correct?
Per action turn, yes.
Per action turn that I do on my turn.
You can also spend it 1 time in the income phase and 1 time in the ending phase.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and spend a helm point? No, I don't need to yet. So, I could go here and place 2 building tiles and then pay you one of these resources out from here. I need the food. I need the 3rd food because I've got foodage happening over here. I can also always build this one to give myself more silk and food. That will become a level 3 food for next round. I'm like talking out my ears now because you just kind of needs to. I feel like in this game. So I could go to an area where Wendy already is, so that I can try and build 2 tiles and then maybe use one of these things to grab more tiles or whatever. I mostly just really want to be set up for this. So, that's actually good in a lot of ways. Oh, because I could do this and then spend a helm point and then do that. Ooh, I could be rolling in the food myself. Okay. I think I figured out what I want to do for a little bit here. I'm going to indeed spend a worker over here to be able to build 2 tiles. I have to give a cube over to Wendy. So here, I'm going to give you a silver in your little temporary holding area. At any time, she can take a free action to move it up to her main area if she has the room. I don't know if you're going to have the room. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Anyway, lame joke over. I'm going to build 2 tiles. So I'm going to place this tile out here as an anytime action. I will forego the fact that this is kind of 2 food. I'm going to take a single cube and put it into my hold, right? It only counts as a single food, and I'm fine with that. Because this builds this up to be a level 3 silk cloth or whatever. Then I'm going to use my second build for going here. My second build action will be to build this tile. This is at the wrong level. So I need to spend a single helm point to put out a foodery here just as a placeholder so that I can place this down. Right? Remember, if I spend a single helm point, it does not actually make that a production area. So now this is, oh my gosh, is that 5 layers up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Mm-hmm. Ooh, so this is where it's going to get kind of weird and mucky as we start visually, yeah. So I hope we just have enough cubes. We might have to start reducing it once we get up to like 5+, and then the camera will have to just believe us. But I've got now a level 5 fooding tile and a level 5 golding tile. So, yahoo!
Golding locks over there.
Golding lots.
That's fair. All right, is it my turn?
I'm also going to use an anytime action to draw a tile. Because if I don't use these, I'm afraid of not being able to get sufficient benefit. So I drew a tile and part of the bag out. And then I'm going to use one of these, I think to get coins, because I need coins to be able to unlock these. So, should I do that or not? I mean,
it's a net benefit of 1 coin.
It is.
You don't need it now.
So, coins, if I use this for coins and cubes, they go down here, but I will have room to bring them up to my hold so that I can hold on to them. And so, I'm going to leave one of them here for now, though, in case Wendy decides to give me something good for going to an action space where I'm at or whatever. But you can't go to the same action space where you've already been. So anyway, that's the end of that conflated turn.
Okay, I'm going to come here and steal Cooper from you.
Boo! Yeah. I was worried about that.
And I'm going to place a tile. So I'm going to go ahead and use a cartographer point, which is funny because I get one back. So I'm just going to move it right back. And I'm going to place this down so I have a level 3 gold.
Yahoo!
Yep, getting into the gold. And a level 3 food. Do I have enough food over here? I've been eating so much food.
And you and I are both holding food in our hold as well, so.
There's so much food going on in this game.
Yep. Okay, so since Wendy didn't do that, I'm going to use an anytime action just to bump my coin up here so that I don't lose it as we move into the end of the round.
Sounds good.
Cool. So those are all the actions. You took the first player marker, right? Mm-hmm. I think Cooper's sitting off camera, which is not that big of a deal, but just for reference sake.
Put him there.
All right. Holy cow, did we do it all?
I think we did it.
Woo! And we're not drowning. Well, you're drowning in food, but... Okay, end of round. We got to pay... Speaking of food, we got to pay it. I only have 3 that I need to pay.
I'm spending the 3 from my hold because these are not in the way.
Yeah, I'm really debating if I want to actually just bump this 2 food out of here, or either way, I have to pay all of this. So, yoink, that I overpaid food. So I probably could have taken the higher level and gotten points. Whatever, that's fine. So now my hold is full is my only concern. So, oh boy. Okay, we paid food. Next, we go into this area. Oh, this is how I'm going to unfill my thing. I'm going to pay $1 to undo one of my crate lids. So I'm going to move crate lid out off of my draw tile. So this action here to gain coins is still occupied. So I'm fine with that. Next up, we have no statues, no points. The close 3 space is not filled up, no points. Retrieve our workers.
All right. And off to income.
Lose anything here. Advance this person forward.
Alrighty, so I get to go first for laying my tiles down. I want this one because I know Chris is going to build a boat and I want to get there first. That's why I took first player. So I'm going to go ahead and put this wood tile down.
I will gladly go to the same space.
I will take a soak.
Something out of my hold that is just clogging me up. All right. This is the part where I'm not sure what I want to do. I can put this one out, and the benefit of that is that it would give me the ability to clear out rubble, because this rubble would get in the way of me being able to put out a last eyelet tile over here and start getting that bonus. If I do any of these things that give me more stuff, I'm afraid of running out of hold space. This one could get me food, this one could get me cloth or whatever. I've really got to start spending stuff off of my area.
I'm just going to set this here for that and that.
I hope this is not too short-sighted. So I'm going to put out that wood, because wood is good. And I'm going to clear this rubble off. And so this rubble becomes a potential statue that I could build over here, should I want to do the statue building route, which I am very ill-equipped for. Okily dokily. So, I've done that. Worried. I've only gained 2 helm points so far this whole game.
Mm-hmm.
So I really need to, even though I'm specializing in doing these shipments, I'm also not going to do well unless I get another worker upgrade by either doing 2 buildings or 2 statues or 2 boats. And those other things are also good points, so I need to figure out exactly what I'm going to be doing with that. So that was my eyelet tile placement, and so I also get my regular tile placement, which can be pretty good. So I think I just need to get more resources so I can try and build statues and stuff, or build boats and stuff. Okay, so I get a silver here, and I get a wood there.
All right, we ready?
Oh, boy, I think so.
First action, I'm going to go to the boat space. So I get 2 discounts because if I go here, because he's here, and I get first pick, and I get this. So I'm going to go ahead and take a 2 discount on my gold. So I paid 3 gold and 2 cloth, which gives me this nice little crate lid here, and 2 victory points. 1, 2, which means I've crossed this and I get one of these nifty books. So I'm going to grab my book, and it's the same thing. So basically I get 2 of something.
2 gold or cloth,
and
or
I get a
one
coin
of each.
because of that. So.
You get a coin because these ability cards both relate to shipping.
Yes. Over here looks like more cloth is needed.
A lot more cloth than gold, yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and take 2 cloth, because 2 cloth also can turn into silver if I want. So, possibilities.
Possibilities. All right, very good.
So I'll flip this over saying I got it. All right, that is my turn.
All right. It's time for your old pal Chris to take an action. And now's the point where I'm starting to get a little bit worried. If I want to build boats, I need a lot more money, and I left my money space covered instead of the other, which I probably shouldn't have done, but that's fine. I also know that I can always trade in 2 silk cubes for $1. So that's another way that I could try and make up for this money over here on the ship space. If I could get another worker upgrade, I could turn one of them into a square, and then I could start building ships, which would be so much cheaper, but I need to build ships to be able to get another worker upgrade. So that's the tightness of this game. I could immediately come here and pay Wendy to take that shipping action, but I know I'm going to be doing that inevitably. I think that I can maybe do some other things first. So what first would I like to do? Questions, they fill my head. I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, no more questions jumping on the bed.
Those questions should not be jumping on the bed. That is not safe for them. They might fall off. We might get concussions. You want a question concussion.
That would be bad.
That would be a question.
Question?
Which sounds like a discussion about a question.
Okay, so I know that I'm going to go ahead and do this. I only have room for one more thing in my cargo hold. Ooh, once I get enough points, i.e. from this thing, I will be able to go ahead and clear another rubble. But before I clear that rubble, I won't have room for it if this is the only if this is clogged up already. So I can build a worker I could build a statue by paying 3 wood and 3 stone, or 2 wood and 2 gold. I might be closer to the wood and stone thing, honestly. And I can always wow. Yeah, there's a lot of bonus fiddling going on here. So I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take this action here to draw and place a tile. Let's see what I got. Oh, maybe not exactly what I wanted, but good enough. Good enough, probably. Good enough, probably. That gets me wood. That gets me food. Oh, wait. I don't want to build there because I want to build another islet upgrade, maybe? I'm going to get how many points? 1, 2 points? Yeah, so I should probably build somewhere else. Oh my. I could forego a small benefit. It doesn't really matter that much, I think, at this point. I hope that those aren't words that I regret. Yeah, when I look at what I want. Okay, so I'm going to cover up these spaces, which is good. That's definitely good. Some food to work with. Hooray! And that stuff there. Okay, cool. So that's going to be the end of my turn. I placed out this tile, got a wood, got a food.
Nice. I'm going to use an anytime action to get $2 more, which gives me now enough money. Or I have 1 wood. So I'm going to go ahead and build this first little boat here. So, boat time.
This little boat of yours.
And I'm going to build this boat that gives me gold or cloth. And I'm going to take a gold. Whoops. And I'm going to throw it at myself. So I'm spending 3 coins and a wood. And I gain another victory point. So I'm going to go ahead and move right there.
Alrighty. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. So that's your turn.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I took this. This guy's used. So we're going to set him off.
Oh, okay.
So you don't get that benefit.
Yeah, only the first person of each round gets the discount.
Not that you need it.
Not that I need it, thankfully. If I was banking on it, that'd be very depressing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think what I'm going to do now is for my next bonus, I'm going to use an anytime action to gain 2 cubes. The cubes that I'll need, next round is going to be all about that cloth. So 1 cube that I gain is going to be cloth, and the next cube that I gain is going to be stone. Hurrah. I've done this. So what I can do now is my main action is going to be to go over here and build a statue. It worries me just a little bit because that means I have to cover up this very tall area here, which means my food engine might get wrecked. So I'll have to start producing more food other places.
Gonna wreck it.
I'm gonna wreck it. Indeed. If only it were funny. Okay, so I'm going to use an anytime action to bump this up here. I don't have to move everything. I can just temporarily put this up here so that now I can pay for the statue. So 1, 2, 3 wood and 1, 2, 3 silver. And I'm going to build a statue. So that statue, comes from here. And it has to be built on my highest point, and this is a 5-point food, so goodbye, dear precious food. I gain 1 point from building a statue, though. Woo! That's right? Yeah, I build a statue, I gain 1 helm point. Has to go on my highest region.
Now, the nice thing about statues is it's a point now, and it's a point at the end of every future round.
Yes, that is true. So it's gonna score me 3 more points. So hey, that's good.
One thing I really like about this game is that everything that gives points builds some sort of engine. So statues are a victory point engine. Little buildings are a long-term ability engine. These are income engines. There's just like everything is building something so that you're progressing and you're growing and you're specializing.
The completing the boats gives you more of these anytime actions that you can take. So that's its own engine. So yeah. So I've successfully completed a statue. That leaves 2 hold room. Okay, cool. So I think that's everything that I'm supposed to do for that action.
Nice.
Oh, back to you.
Back to me. Okay, well, my final action is going to come here and just to draw 2 because I've got nothing again. Give me something good. Okay, we can work with what we got.
Alrighty. So that's it. That's your whole turn. So now I have to make a really excruciating and weird decision. I'm going to come here to the boat, the sailing area, or the shipment area, whatever that thing is called. I have to pay Wendy something. I don't want to be short on food because that would be terrible. Being short on food means that you have to gain an anchor. We haven't talked about these. Anchors are negative victory points. Further, they act as anchors. If your boat has an anchor on it, you cannot move that boat. And next time you gain a helm point, you just take the anchor off. It's a -1 point. So I don't want that. That'd be terrible. So I think I'm going to take a free anytime action to move this cube up here. And I might have to give Wendy a silk, which I wanted to use for next round. Or I could give her $1, but then that $1 means that I don't get to take off one of these benefits for next round. So I think silk it is. Here you go, kid.
Perfect. Thank you.
That's disgusting and I hate myself. I wish I could give you just some dumb stone or whatever, but I gotta go and build a statue and get lots of victory points. Anyway, what will I be doing? Maybe I could give you a food cube. Maybe I could give you a food cube, and this is how. You know what? No, forget you, like CeeLo Green says, but not so rudely. Not so rudely. I am going to give you a food cube. Oh, this hurts either way. Because I think this is why. I think this is because why. All right. It's so tight. All right. I'm taking this action here. So I just paid Wendy for the ability to share an action space with her. I'm going to complete another shipment. I have to pay full price. So 5 gold. That's okay. And 2 cloth. That's okay as well. I gain 2 helm points. So 1, 2. So I get to clear off a rubble. And it becomes a potential statue that I can build. Hooray, right? I gain this for selling to this boat. So I now have a new crate lid. Great for me. And what I wanted to do now is I can take, because I hit a 5-point threshold, I draw one of these bookie tiles.
And hope there's food on it.
I could hope that there's food in it. Instead, there's gold or fabric. And because gold is far less of a problem for me, I think that I want the fabric. Oh boy, things are getting tight. Things get so tight if you don't build small buildings. Ugh. All right. Now, the reason that I wanted to do that is because I'm going to gain myself 6 points, not now, but over the course of the game, by spending 2 helm points to place a single tile out. And the single tile that I'm going to place out is going to be a foodery, and it's going to be right here. Kachuga. All right, so that solves multiple problems at once. One, I have 3 food for the end of this round. Yay. Second problem that it solves, or second great thing, is that now, as I mentioned, over here on the end of round track, I'm going to score a victory point for every statue I have, and I'm going to score a victory point at the end of every round for having these 3 spaces closest to the main land filled in. So, oh, what a load of stress, man.
Sounds like it.
Um,
I'm real quick for my anytime action. I'm gonna trade 2 silk for a coin, just for end game or for end round stuff.
Boy, maybe I should do that. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this shipping lid as an anytime action. I'm gonna draw a tile because I am out of workers. This is the end of the round. Therefore, I want a tile that I can place out for free as part of the income phase of next round. So. Huzzah! I think we've all done all of our workers, right? I didn't take Cooper or anything, so you remain first player.
That I do.
All right, let's pay food. I'm still paying 3. Are you still paying 3?
So I'm going to do 3 right off that stack right there.
1, 2, 3. Next up, I'm going to pay $1 out of my hold.
As will I.
To unlock one of these guys. So maybe cubes? Oh boy, I don't know. So maybe cubes or maybe dollars so that I can re-unlock more stuff. But the problem with dollars is that they're... but I don't have to get the dollars now, but the dollars that I get will help me unlock more crates. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do dollars instead of cubes. I hope I don't regret that either. What a weird place to be in. Okay. Next up, victory points for statues. I gain 1.
Bum, bum, bum.
Hooray! So I'm going to go ahead and claim 1 helm point for that.
Very nice.
With this boat. My next one that I get is 1 victory point for having these 3 tiles filled in. So I think you're going to move this boat 1 sandbar over.
Very good.
Yes, very good. Thank you. Thank you. Next up, we retrieve our workers. Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy.
Next up, if we had anything in the temporary market, we would lose it. And then Harbor Master advances 1 space. Oh, end of another round.
All right, round 4. Let's see how this goes. We are going to place our eyelet tiles, and I want all of them. But I think that what makes the most sense is the money. So I'm going to go ahead and go here with that little dollar bill and take a coin. And then I'm going to spend a cartography point, turn this 2 foot into just 1 foot into my little hold here. And I'm going to place this one on top. So now I have a 4 high food and a 4 high cloth. 1, 2, they're falling everywhere, but they are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh boy, I hope I'm not a sad man. Okay, I think I'm going to use this as my eyelet placement. So I produce 1 stone on there.
Also take a gold from my nice little income boat.
Nice income boat.
Thank you. I made it myself.
So this one lets me get a wood and a food cube. And then my regular placement, I think, is going to be this. It's going to be a mountain and a farmland. Building it up. So I'm going to put out 2 silver onto it. And 2 food cubes.
Yep, I forgot to put a food on that dollar bill.
On that dollar bill. Oh, on the eyelet side.
Yeah.
All right. Oh my gosh. The tightness of my hold is like grossing me out. That's so bad. Okay.
All right. Is that it?
Yeah.
So for my first turn, I'm going to go ahead and go here to the Boat space again. Because I want to use this guy's discount plus this discount. So 6 minus 4 is my 2 leftover ones there, and then my 2 gold. So that is sufficient.
6 minus 2, right? You get 2
minus,
discount?
Yeah, 6 minus 2 discount is my 4.
Oh, thank goodness.
And then my 2 gold. Sorry for the confusion. And that gives me $1 because of that. And then this guy goes away. I get 2 movement, which also gives me $1. And then I get the crate lid right over here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you took my color.
Oops.
Because it super matters.
Lets you know whether or not you've been there. You can only ever use a merchant ship one time.
Yep.
And I get an upgrade bonus now because I did this thing. I'm going to take a square worker, and I'm actually going to steal this right there.
Remember how I mentioned that knife fight in a phone booth? This is not me suggesting I would like to stab Wendy for stealing this from me, but it's
super
hard.
frustrating.
Yep, it's, oh boy. So now I have to really think about what other endgame objective can I go for, because statues doesn't have an endgame objective or whatever. I can maybe go for this one, which is to cover up the most space on the island. I do only have, very few rubble left, so I could cover up a lot more spaces, but, you act too slow, you don't grab first player enough or something like that. Like, it's bound to happen. I was one statue build away. But enough of me complaining. People don't want to watch me complain. But if you do want to watch me complain, then let me know in the comments below. I'm going to cry.
I hate that feeling, but I had to do it.
Yeah. I had to do it. I had to do it, you say. This is tough. Okay, so I think the thing that I think the most about doing... Okay, here's the problem. I want to complete this shipment, because it's either this shipment or this shipment, and I don't know if I'm going to have enough... what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would become 6 gold high. So I don't know if I'm even going to complete this one or not, but we shall see. So I want to do this first so that I can... I want to build up this... I want to build this up first before I build my statue. I'd like to build a second statue this round to get a worker upgrade, but the problem is if I build the statue, then it goes over here and covers up this ability. But if I forego this high tall thing, and I say it's not worth it for me to chase this last thing for all of the gold, then I'm letting Wendy get it for 6, but you see where my brain is melting at the moment. But I could just focus on this one, which is more cloth than it is gold. Getting the gold will be easy, and the cloth will be good. Yeah. So what I'm saying is I have no idea what I'm doing. So I need to build up this cloth. Building up a 4th level is going to cost 3 cartography points. Ergo... Ergo... This is probably just best, so I gain 3 cartography points. Yahoo! I can get either a coin or a resource cube of my choice. The problem with the resource cube of my choice is that that will be my last hold space, but I also do want $1 to try and unlock another one of these things, possibly, but that's super secondary, and I can always use this crate to get the dollars, so I'll worry about that part later. I'm going to get a cube first. If I make it a gold, I only need to get 1 more gold cube, but I can't get anything that's worth less than 3 gold building up high anyway, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a wood cube so that I can use wood towards building my statue? This is a nightmare. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pay 3 cartography points then to put a... where are you? Here we go. Put a village out, a 4th level village, so that it can produce 1, 2, 3, 4 silkenins. Very good. So I now have all the silk that I'll need to complete the shipment, but not the gold. The gold is next, baby.
All right, I have so many exciting things I want to do. I want to do everything. So I'm going to spend one of my crate lids for Ooh. Ooh. I just realized that I thought I was doing something, but now I realize I can't do something. My hold is full. Chris gave me this cube, and I thought I would use it, but that messes me up.
Har, har, har. Yeah, it's terrible.
We'll just do something different. So I'm going to go here. I was going to get 2 cubes and take the $2 or 2 coins and get the $2 discount so that I could do extra fun stuff. Oh, I'll still take the $2 discount, sorry. But instead I'll take it as cubes. So I'll spend $3. 1, 2, 3. And instead just get 1 helm point instead of 2. All because of you. Ooh, I could not do that first. Sorry. I could give it to Chris. Haha, watch this. Watch me be ridiculous. I'm going to give it right back to you. And you can throw it away if you want.
Okay.
I'm going to come here. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 helm points. And I'm going to take a gold. And I'm going to give you this cube I don't want.
Hello. Hi, cube. It goes into my temporary market holding area, so I do get it. I don't get to put in my permanent hold yet, though, until I spend stuff.
I mean, now I have a gold in my thing instead of that, so I don't know if that was any better of a choice.
Alrighty. So you're done with your action?
I'm done with my action.
Okay. I don't see how exactly you're closer, but hey, good on you, I suppose. Now, I get to take an action here, and I think that if I want to try and... I might not actually be able to ship this round, based on the fact that I don't have gold. But I also want to build that second statue so that I can get another worker upgrade. Downside of that being, if I get an upgraded worker, I don't get... Oh my goodness, then I won't have enough food. Ooh, food, dude, that's a concern. But if I upgrade to a square worker, then I could come here to the square side of the shipping action and place or draw a tile. Well, that's kind of nice. Which might facilitate me getting more food. So let's see what in the dickens I'm going to do here. Let's try this. I'm going to build a statue. In order to... Oh golly gee whiz. So in order to be able to build that statue, I need 3 wood and 3 silver. I have 3 silver from here. 2 and the 1. I only have 2 wood. So I need to spend this bonus action to place out a forestry tile of forestiness on the first level. I'll just go ahead and tuck it under there, I suppose. And the purpose of that is I want to build... Oh, so it gets a piece of wood on it, and so now I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3 wood to get this statue out, and it has to go to my highest available area, so I built 2 statues over here. Monument to my own foolish planning. I gain a victory point for that. So, I will move the sand to that sandbar. Oh, here's a thing that I get for getting victory points. I can choose this reward, so I'm going to get a piece of food for sure, so that, yay, hooray, I can actually upgrade a worker and afford the food for it. I knew there would be a way. Where there's a will, there's a way, and I found my way into it. I also have to choose between a wood and a stone cube. Oh boy, I don't know. I don't even know if it makes a difference. I don't know what I need more of or less of right now. Let's go wood in case I build a boat on accident. It's fodder to just throw at Wendy. Oh, you know what? I want stone as fodder to throw at Wendy, maybe. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm building a second statue, so huzzah, I get this second statue bonus worker upgrade thing. And
You gonna claim the 5ers?
I could get another... No, I'm gonna take a square. And when you upgrade a circle worker into a square, I get to place this over here. I only have 2 5-level height things, and you need at least 4. I think I'm gonna claim this. So if I have only 3 empty spaces, 4 or 3 empty spaces at the end of the game, I will get 3 bonus points. If I can get it down to 2 or 1, I'll get 5. And there's no way I'm getting it down to 0. That's because I have to clear out 3 rubble, so that's not happening. All right, I did a thing.
You did a thing.
I did a thing, and I cannot ship this round is the problem. But, all right.
Alrighty. Oh, I realized that I didn't need to take that turn yet. I mean, it was kind of silly of me because now I'm going to upgrade a worker and then I would have gotten an extra income. But all is well that ends well. So I am going to do something with that. Oh yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and take the discount. I still don't have room for extra stuff in my hold like I thought I would, so I still am just 1 less. Hey, when I shipped, did I get I got my points, right?
I believe so. You moved that one.
I think so, yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure if I think I was there at the end of last round, but I'm not sure. I actually don't remember now. So that's worrisome.
And it's not a super tight game where every single point could make the,
Right.
the difference.
So I get the 2 wood discount. I spent $3, so I move 1 space right there. I'm going to use the get another income boat's worth of something, and I'm going to take a gold.
Hooray.
So there you go.
I mean, wait, boo.
And that unlocks another boat. So I'm going to put that over here. And I'm going to unlock another square worker, which is why I should have gone to this space
second.
Yeah, or third, whatever. Last, I'm going to take the building one. Not sure if I'm going to do it, but why not?
I mean, that could be an extra 3 points for you, and you're already getting
3 or 4, probably.
3 or 5 points from that. So yeah, I mean, I'm not competing here, and I don't know how well I'm competing here, but I have statues and I have this. So I have 2 rounds of getting 3 points. Statue, statue, peninsula, statue, statue, peninsula.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what happens. Did you actually move victory points this time for building a boat?
I did.
You did, for sure you did.
Just did.
All right.
Right now, you and I are hanging on the same sandbar.
Groovy gravy. Let's fight. Let's pull out some dice and fight each other. Just kidding. That's not part of the rules. Oh boy. I have my square worker. And I don't really know what I want to do with this guy.
Oh, hey, so real quick, I forgot that you got a helm point for unlocking your upper division workers because, you know, they're smarter and they went to college or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. So
Pirate college.
Another helm point, which takes my red boat over here, over to that space, and I get one of these nice little thingy-jiggies. And it's a cartography point. Look at that.
Oh,
so,
man. I really love the cartography points. I am jealous that you got that. Okay, I think the action that I'm going to take, speaking of cartography points, I'm going to put my square worker over here, so I gain 1 cartography, and I also am going to draw 2 tiles, hoping that I get something good, if not fantastic. Well, I mean, it is what it is. Ooh, oh, wow. That actually could be really good for me, potentially. Okay. So that's my last action. I did not grab Cooper, so unfortunately you start going into the last round, which is a major bummer for me and my, you know, my feelings. Okie doke. So, I think we're done with all worker actions. I'm not taking any more single use or anytime actions, are you?
I don't believe so. I think that's it for me.
Okie doke. So, going into this then, food. I have to pay 4 food. You have to pay a lot. 6 food?
Yes.
Thankfully you have...
Sorry, I was thinking about something else. But yes, I have 4, 5, 6 right here.
Very good. I have 1, 2 from off the board, and then 3, 4 from through my hold. Feeding my last round is going to be kind of hard, but thankfully I drew these things. Alrighty. Next up on the docket, pay coins. Do you want to pay money to unlock?
Mine are all unlocked.
Oh, yours are unlocked. Mine are all locked up.
Yeah, I didn't use them. I was going to, but then I didn't need them.
Now, points from statues, I get 2 points from statues. Oh, this is interesting. Do I want to move this? Because I could get whatever benefit I throw out here but I don't think I'm even going to care about it. So I'm going to just go 1, 2, hurrah. And then I get to move 1 more point now for having these 3 spaces filled in.
Mm-hmm. Which means you're officially 1 point ahead of me.
Woo!
Pretty scary.
And I draw one of these little bookie captain's log, star date 2020 bonus tiles, so I can get a stone, wood, or a silver, wood, or food cube. And the name of the game might be food. Can I do something with lots of silver? Is there any reason that I need more silver? I'm not going to build buildings. I'm not going to build these things. I think I'm just going to take the food cube. All right.
Food it be.
I legitimately hope I get anything out of all this. Okay, next up, retrieve our workers. Ooh, we have lots of different shaped workers now. So that's nifty.
All shapes and sizes.
All right, and then lose anything that's still in the little bonus hold. I have room up here, but I do not care about this in the least bit. I cannot imagine a scenario where I really need this thing. So, begone is what I say.
And then move this guy to the last space.
So that you can get your ridiculous bonus.
Always.
Your discount. I feel like both times we've played, you've gotten amazing cards. Last time I built small buildings, I got those cards. I hated my abilities from them. So slightly jealous of your ability to draw into good stuff.
All right, you didn't take Cooper this round, did you?
No, I did not. So you remain first player.
I remain first player of power.
So we're going to go to the top. Income phase time. Wendy is going to... What's she going to do?
I'm going to throw this here. And I guess I'm just going to stick one of those things out. That happens to... Yeah. And I draw a tile. See what tasty stuff I get. By the way, this has been most of the tile I've had this game, which is why this is so high. Goodness gracious. Okay, something different. Something unique.
Oh boy. So this is the crossroads that I'm at. I don't know if it matters what thing I put out, because I can get a gold or a, what is this guy called? Cloth? Even if I get gold, it's not going to help me get towards this. So this is yours. I know that. You're getting the 3 helm points. That's a big good news for you. I could use the food, perhaps, but I'm going to overbuild on food, so I think that I'm set anyway. I think you... Oh my gosh. And so the other problem is, whatever I set out here, you're going to get the benefit of. So I almost feel like you can't benefit as much if I put out gold/cloth as you could benefit if I put out coin, because coin would facilitate you building boats.
I don't need to build boats, though.
I mean, it's points, so I don't know. I don't know what you're all doing this round.
That's fair.
So I feel like maybe this is better. So I put a wood out here, but I'm probably not going to use that wood. So we shall see what happens.
My tile that I'm placing out is going to be this one right here. So now I have 5 food. Guess what, y'all? I think my food's taken care of for the round that I need 6. Just saying. 5 food, 5 cloth.
5 food and 7 years ago.
And I'm going to use a... Oh, is that the one I wanted to use? Yeah. Yeah, we're good. Then I'm going to use a 4... What is this? Sorry. 3 cartography points to put a 4 level gold on.
Okie doke. So what am I doing? I'm going to overbuild this tile because it matches very, very nicely. Matches. I'm going to put out 3 food and 3 gold. Almost as if I needed that desperately. Very nice. Alrighty, so I think we're good to start with actions now, and you're first player.
I'm first player, so I'm going to go ahead and come here to the Boat spot. And with my 2 discount because of this guy and this guy, I'm going to go ahead and spend 6 gold.
So the confusing terminology. This is building an income boat.
Yes.
This is
shipping.
Shipping? I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, that's how I distinguish them.
So I'm shipping. So I get a crate lid. I get to move 3 spaces. So let's take my red boat of glory. 1, 2, 3. I will go ahead and take a gold question mark? I think so. And that is that everything? I feel like I'm always missing stuff. So I did everything. I got the gold, I got the 3, I got the crate lid. We're good.
All right, very good. Now's the part where you start really worrying me.
Good.
Okay, now for me, I have everything that I need to ship. I don't know if Wendy's going to try and ship an earlier thing here. So I could spend my square and not lose anything, or I could spend my circle disc and match her, because I would get a small benefit. I could draw or place a tile, and I might only need to place 1 tile, because that would leave 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces uncovered, and my benefit here kicks in 3 bonus points as long as I only leave 4 spaces uncovered. I would need to get all the way down to 2 to earn 2 more bonus points. So I could potentially get this out. I think and how much does it cost to build a statue? It costs 2 wood and 2 gold, or 3 wood and 3 silver. Can I get more gold? Can I overbuild on gold? Maybe I could build another statue. So maybe it's worth holding on to this square guy to do this statue thing. So but then I also need to be able to take a build action. Okay. Phew. This is tight when you only have 3 workers and no knowledge of what you're doing in the least bit. So, I am in. Oh yeah, the part where I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Do I want to cover this one up then, and be forced to give Wendy something? I need all 6 silk. I need, if I plan on building a statue, I don't need stone. So I'm indeed, or silver, or whatever that resource is called. There you go. Enjoy you. So that I can take this ship action. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to spend 6. Oh gosh. So the 4 from here and the 2 from my hold. And then I'm going to spend the gold, which remember has to be all of the gold. So I spend all that. Goodbye, gone, woot woot. To complete this one back here. So that's going to gain me 2 helm points. So I could go 1, 2, and I would get a gold or a cloth, and I do kind of want gold, right? If I'm going to maybe try and build another statue, if I'd like to get it for cheap. Could I? Okay, so I could go 1, 2, and that would give me a gold right into my hold. And my hold can hold the gold, said Dr. Seuss. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, you continue. It is your turn now.
It is my turn. I realized when I shipped, I didn't get my dollar bonus. So many bonuses. Okay.
Oh, yeah, because you have bonus cards that are sensible.
See, I told you I was going to forget something. I thought I forgot something. Okay, I'm going to come here and I'm going to ship again. Because I'm in ship shape. So I'm spending 5 instead of 4, and that's okay. Cloth. I'm using my $1 discount. So I'm only using 1 gold. So I get this. I get 1 movement point, which I'm going to take another little silvery dude thing. So I'm actually going to put both of these up here for the 2 silvers. And then I took that, and I get a coin. There we go. Everything.
Oh, man. All right, I need to calculate this to the T. I would like to come here, remove a rubble, and build a statue in a single action. I need 2 gold and 2 wood. And unfortunately, I'm lacking on both 1 gold and 1 wood. So how do I do that? I would probably do that by coming over here. Yes, I think it's all coming together. I think I can pull this off. And even if I don't beat Wendy, which I have yet to do with this game, I will at least get an okay go at things here. I will come hither to get 3, count them, 3 cartographia points and 1 resource of choice. So that resource of choice will be gold, because I'm going to spend my crate bonus action here to place out a tile, and the tile that I place out is going to get me the wood that I need and 1 silk, and that silk, honest to goodness, doesn't really matter to me. And I'm going to spend 2 cartography points to put out a single tile of whatever I would like it to be. So I'm just going to put out a foodery, a single level food, because, I don't know, why not, I guess, right? So that's fine. So now I only have 3 uncovered spaces on my board. Yeah, so this probably doesn't matter what it is, but hey, good enough. Okay, so that's the end of my turn. It's back to you.
It is back to me.
Back to reality.
Okay. This is where it gets confusing.
You only have 1 action. You have 1 main action left.
I have 1 main action left. Okay, this is what I want to do, is I want to build a building because I want to get these 3 points. That is my goal. I can get a 2 discount of something, and I can get 2 of my choice. So essentially I have 4 cubes I don't have to worry about because I have 2 money, and I have 3 out of the 8. So I need 1 more cube, is essentially. So I'm going to take 2 cubes to get 2 wood, so we just don't have to worry about that at the moment.
Very good.
Then I think I'm going to go ahead and place down, and I'm going to spend a...
Place down, place down, place a tile down, down, place
I'm just gonna
down,
put this here.
Place down, place a tile down.
Gives me 2 of those and 2 of these, which now I have enough to perform the action that I want to with a 2 discount.
Because your large building here normally is going to cost you 4 wood, 4 stone, $2. So now you're getting a lot of discountage.
I'm getting
2 discount from there. Okay.
Mm-hmm. A lot of discount. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, I'm trying to figure out if I can make this work, actually. Something fancy.
Fancy feast?
I almost can place this one. Almost. I'm trying to think if there's a way I can do it, and I don't think there is, so I'm just not even gonna...
Can you spend a crate lid to get more cartography points and spend the cartography points to get the last thing you need?
I can do that to either get gold or fabric or
But not both.
wood. But not all 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can use my 2 discount on one of them, but not all of them, so I can't do that.
Okay.
Didn't work. It sounded good, though. It sounded like a possibility. So instead, I'll just go ahead and do what I'm doing. So I spend $2. $2. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. 1, 2,
4 golds.
plus the other 2 is the other 4 there.
Okay, so that's your discount.
That's my discount. I get to, can you move me 2 spaces, please?
So you're going to cross this threshold here, meaning she gets another one of these logbook tokens, but she also has to pay me a thing.
Here's the thing.
So it's a good thing you had a cube left over, because if you had nothing to
I'd
give...
have to pull from here.
Yes. Okay, so also grab your logbook then, I guess?
Oh, yes. Logbook of power, a cube, and a food. Well, I just, drowning in food again.
And now...
Or sorry, a coin and a food.
You move a second space so you get to draw a tile. I don't know if that's even important.
Tiles and items in your boat.
In your hold.
Or in your hold, and cartography points are all I think it's 3 for every 1 victory point.
You mean 1 victory point for every 5 you have?
Is it 5, not 3?
Yeah. 3 or 5. Yeah, we'll clarify.
We'll look that up. Did I get everything?
No, you didn't even place your building out.
Oh, I didn't place my building out. Oh, I'll place my building out here, which gives me 1 more point because it's on top of a town. So go ahead and hop me 1 more, which gives me another cartography point.
Indeed.
Okay, we're there. And I think that is officially all I can do on my last turn, but that gives me 3 buildings and 4 shipments, so I'm looking really good for endgame points.
Wow, you're getting 8 endgame points between these two?
Yep.
I'm not getting 8 here. I'm getting 5. And yeah, this is the tightest game that we've had of this yet. Usually you've blown me out of the water.
It feels really good for both of us, I think.
I think so. Okie dokie. So, what next? So you finished all of your actions. And,
That's my turn.
well, actually, no, you didn't, because you also get to draw. You placed one of these big Catan settlement buildings, so you
That's
get
right. So I can take 3 coins. I can perform a cargo ship action. What? Oh, this might happen. This might happen. I might get more points, honey. Move a building or place a double tile. I'm going to take this one and see if I can get it to work. This is an anytime, one-time action.
So you can do this. I mean, basically, you have to figure out if you can do this right now or not.
And I totally can. You ready for this?
Absolutely not. Yeah. Very saddened.
I'm very saddened. Okay, so I'm going to spend 3 cartography points right here to place a gold mine. Golds are 3 or higher, so this is 3 gold. 1, 2, 3. I have that fabric left over, so I'm going to play this for 3 gold and 2 cloth. See, that's why I kept the cheap one for last. It's kind of ridiculous. So I get to move another point, and that gives me my last crate lid.
Incredibly saddens me, because that's a net 4 points for you in that last round.
And I get $1.
I mean, that's massive.
That is ridiculous.
Okie dokie.
I'm going to use my final crate lids just on these things because they are endgame points. So I'm going to draw 1, take 2 cartography points, and $2.
Cool. I mean, the opposite of cool, but also fine. So I'm going to go ahead and take my last action here, which I thought was going to be good until that whole mess happened. So I'm going to draw a rubble tile from out here, put it over into my statue prep area. Now I'm going to spend 2 wood and 2 gold to build said statue, and my highest available region is this 4 tall town village thing. So I'm going to get 2 movement off of that. So I'm going to go 1, 2 to give me another cartography point. And now I'm going to spend 2 cartography points to put out another single tile of just whatever I want, basically. I'm going to make it food, just so I've got a lot of food on the island. Food cube. I put you there. Hooray. So I've built 3 statues in a row. That's got to be worth something, right?
Yeah.
So I gave myself 2 points already. That'll be some end of round points, but it's not going to compete now with what you got. So I think we've done everything, right?
I think we've done everything. I just looked it up. It is 5-1 for trading things in, so Chris was correct.
Woot.
So I pulled a food over here, so I have 10 total of stuff.
Okay. So yeah, let's go through.
Go
Let's pay up our food. I have to pay 4 food, so here's
6.
3,
5
4.
plus 1 is 6.
I'm going to use just anytime actions to pull the stuff onto my board, because any leftover stuff, like Wendy said, points, right? So I've got 5 leftover stuff. Next up, you can spend $1 to undo crate lids or cards or whatever.
Pointless right now.
Okay.
Statue
points. I get 3 statue points, and then I get a 4th point for having these things covered up. So, let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can either draw and get that, or I can get multiple of these things. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 movement.
Get you a coin and a draw.
Gets me a coin and a draw, and I wouldn't normally bother with stuff like this in the game, but it is, like Wendy said, end game pointage. Whatever. So I forego that bonus. I'm going to give Wendy a thing. Here's a coin, just because coins. And then I draw, look, a coin. So, okay. So, yeah, so that's all of my points. Wait. Oh, yeah, because I got 3 points from one thing and then 1 point from... You can't normally split up points or whatever, so...
Yes.
Okay, so there you go. That I done did that. Anything from the market would be lost, and then that's the end. That's the end there.
All right, let's go ahead and do our endgame scoring here. Chris, you are yellow, and I am red. They conveniently put it in colors.
Oh, they color-coded it. That's cute.
They did. Oh, what do you do with a pen cap? You stick it on the back.
Yes, that is what you do.
Okay, so first let's count up all of our logbooks. We both have 3 times 5, so we both get 15 points from that. Then we count the space left over of our ships after the logbook. This is for each ship.
Yes.
So my ship, this is its last logbook. So I went how many spaces?
1, 2, 3.
So my right ship, which is my 2 flagship, gets 3. And my other one is on the logbook, so it gets 0.
It's kind of a weird... I mean, it could literally just be count spaces.
It
but
could be.
My little ship is sitting on 1, and then my 2 flagship is sitting 4 above. So I'm at 19 points.
Okay.
Just on ships, and Wendy's on 18. And we know endgame scoring is not going well for me.
So endgame scoring, I've got, what did we decide?
You did all 5 of
6,
these.
7,
right?
8.
Wait, no. Did you do all 5 shipments?
I did all 5 shipments.
So that's 8 points.
Oh, 8, 9, 10, 11. Because I did 3 buildings. So I got 11 in endgame points.
Whew. And I only have 2 empty spaces, therefore I have 5 endgame points. Of these like bonus scoring cards.
Okay. White flag points are some cards let you have points like the ones that I showed where it said if it had 2 money at the end of the game, you get a point. That's what those are. So we don't have any of those. And then 5 to 1, I have 11 things on my board, so I get 2 points.
I have 5 things. Well, I have 6,
You have 6.
but just 1 point.
Okay. And then any anchors or negative points, we have none of those.
Thank goodness.
Okay, so 19 plus 6 is 25.
My best score to date.
Best score ever. Nice. So I have 18 plus 11 is 29, 30, 31.
Wow.
Wow, that is amazing. I didn't even know that was possible in this game.
So I've heard a friend of mine, we're actually borrowing this copy of this game from our friend, and what he said is that the designer, I guess in a Board Game Geek forum or something to that likeness, said that a score of 35 is a mastery score at this game.
Wow.
I mean, that's how low scoring this is, that 31 to 25 was going to be a really close game. Now, okay, so here's the thing. Had you not gotten this and been able to do that last shipment, what would the difference in score have been? Was that a 4-point swing?
Yeah, it was this plus that.
Because you went from 3 points up to, or I'm sorry, a 3-point difference, from 5 to 8, and then you wouldn't have gotten the single point. So not would have made the difference, but 27 to 25 would have been a better ego boost for me, I suppose.
I also got a couple more things. Like I got a tile, I got a couple I got a cartography point, a couple more things.
So it could have been potentially a 5-point difference. I would have been a little happier, I suppose, losing 26 to 25. But I mean, these cards are definitely very luck based. I appreciate very much that you get to draw 4 and make choices, because if it was literally just draw 1 and you get it, that would be terrible. That would be terrible, yeah. We're going to come to this as I think possibly my biggest negative of the game.
I think so too.
But I have so much positive to say about this. I really enjoy that every round as income. Like a lot of games, if you haven't built an income ship, you get no income. I like that you always get to place out one of these islet tiles. You always get to do that for free, and you always get to place out one of these random tiles from the bag for free. I love that system because there were times where I underestimated Wendy. I was like, oh, perfect. She can't do a shipment right off the bat. Therefore, I will, and I'll be fine. But then I forgot about the income phase. Wendy was able to put out some tiles and be like, my first move will be to go take the shipment action. So it's great that you can get stuff and you can get it easily at the start of each round to kind of kickstart your worker placement action.
So I really enjoy two-player solitaire that people say.
The multiplayer solitaire.
Yeah. So I actually really love that when I have spaces that I can puzzle out things. Peace for Odin is one of my all-time favorite games, and it has a lot of similar aspects to this of manipulating tiles and fitting things just right so it gives you what you want later. And I feel like this game has a lot of that, and that is, I think, the thing I love most is the tile manipulation, the stacking wide or broad, the laying down the buildings or the statues, which shut things down but give you points and move you along and progress your engine. There's just so much that I love about these isles that are going on, or peninsulas, whatever you want to call them. But at the same time, there is interaction on this board, and we didn't do too much to hurt each other. We actually had a lot more leeway this game. There have been games, though, where me paying Chris or Chris paying me or whatever, the one item has ruined a turn, an entire round where I could have upgraded a worker and taken a whole nother action had I been able to afford that one additional thing. And if you don't afford it, you take an anchor and then they get their item of choice, basically. But so this was definitely my favorite part of this game.
I love this puzzle. I jokingly called it high stakes dominoes, right? Because you have a 1x2 tile and you have to place it out and you have to place adjacent, but there's also just a lot of great things where I can now build this if I wanted to over here and get the double strength benefits. Building up is so fun, but it's also so restrictive because buildings or statues shut that stuff down, and so it's an opportunity cost kind of equation. And you saw when there was a round where I said, do I want to build a statue first or do the shipment first? And had I wanted to continue and try and do this shipment here, I would not have shut down my best potential area to produce more gold. So it creates interesting decisions where you say, I'm sorry, goodbye, this huge production area. You served me well. Now you gotta go. So it's tough and it's tight in that way.
So the other thing that I really love about this game is the cartography points. They just create so much flexibility in building your... Oops, wow, as I messed stuff up.
Destroy a village!
That wasn't even there, was there? But it just creates so much there's so much, manipulation ability, but you have to earn them. They're not just free. You can't just do whatever you want on your board. You have to really work hard to get those.
It reminds me a little bit of a Vital Lacerda extra resource track, kind of like in Kanban. You have the books, and in Lisboa you have some extra track, and it's one of those types of things. But I really enjoy the amount of flexibility it gives you. I really enjoy these crates. I went a game without shipping much, and not having these crates really hurts. So I appreciate the parts of the engine build that give you more flexibility. Strangely, I wasn't even going to go statues. That's what's really interesting. I was planning on just shipping, but I knew at some point I had to do a second something in order to get more workers, and it wasn't going to be buildings, and it wasn't going to be building income boats. So statues, it kind of just defaulted to as my second thing that I had to do to try and get another worker upgrade.
Another thing I really love is these little cloth factories. Because you can trade 2 cloth in for $1, it is typically when I do boats, that's how I get the money for them, because money is very hard to get. You can get money here.
And there's one boat that gives you $1 at the start of every round.
And you can get this with a crate lid, which then is used up unless you spend money to undo it. So money is very hard to get, which this was actually really useful in that regard. But normally I use that, and I love that these can both be useful for the, what do you call these?
For the shipping.
For the shipping or for your income. And I just think that's beautiful.
I've never quite used it that effectively. I don't know. There's more to discover with this game, which is what I like about it. This one balances... Wendy and I have talked about the theory of, are games mastery games or discovery games? Chess, not a lot to discover, so to speak, but a lot to master the systems. Feast for Odin is more of a discovery game where you can there's like so many possible strategic combinations. And this feels a little bit like that to me because I can never build this island the same way each game. I can never quite figure out yet what is the best thing to do. Should I go ships and statues, or should I go ships and boats, or should I do boats and statues, or should I get a lot of cartography points? I need a way to have flexibility to overcome a little bit of the luck of the draw that we'll talk about, but I also need a way to pump out victory points and stuff.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's such a tight game that it does feel like a mastery game in the fact that like we have gotten way better at it as we've played more. I mean, the difference between what's your score 25 versus the 16 you got last time?
Yeah, 16 last game didn't feel great.
I think it was 19 a different game.
Yeah, so like it's range between 16 and 19 or whatever. 25 is huge.
That's
it's great.
The highest score I had previous to today's game was
previous
25.
And your 31 was ridiculous. Yeah,
31 I will probably never see again playing this game.
Now I mean, if 35 from the designer is supposed to be like the mastery level, like if 35 is a master score, 31 is greatly dang close.
Really, really good.
Now, I do want to speak a little bit to the negative of this game as to why it is not a perfect game, in my opinion. Like, for one, analysis paralysis, right? With this cartography track, you have to decide if you're going to use... You can only use cartography stuff once per action turn, so per disc that you put out or whatever. So you can't put, like, spend 3 cartography points to throw down a tile to make 2 things closer to level, and then spend the 1 to make that extra bonus level. To put down a double tile on top of both. You can only do 1 per turn. So what it leads to is it prevents a mega turn from happening where someone's like, I do all of these things. But the downside is then you have to sit there and analyze it for a little too long of like, should I spend these 3 now or not? Let me ponder this for a little while. And it slows down the game in a way. So, good or bad, I think it goes both ways.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. And this is one of those games that if you make a rash decision and you make a choice and then you decide later you don't like that choice, like, you just lost a quarter of your points, you know?
There's only 5 rounds and very few workers.
Yeah, so, I mean, I was told an average game is usually between 15 to 20 points. I guess 15 to 25, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe for more beginners, and then
you think that if 20 points is right around that average and you lose 5 points because you didn't get some big thing at the end, that's huge.
Now, the other thing, it's very thinky and almost too tight. But the other thing that throws me for a loop is the amount of luck that I think ties into the game. And that's coming from these cards, that's coming from these these little, every time you hit a 5 victory point thing. Yeah. Like, I don't understand this, right? There's ones in here that literally give you like a coin. Congratulations, you hit 5 points, you get a coin. And then there's one right next to it that you could get a coin and a food cube.
And then there's ones that give you the option of like a food cube or something else. So yeah, why do you get one specific thing or you get... I don't know. And this must be a design thing that I think we just don't understand that maybe designers do, and I don't.
If you're a game designer, please help me understand why... Like, I understand that, like, get a coin or get, like, a choice between 3 things. You only net 1 thing, sure. But why is it that there's, like, blatantly a coin and then one that's just better than a coin and a food cube? Yes, it's situational. Can you fit it in your hold? Yada, yada, yada. But, like, just dollar for dollar, one of these is blatantly better than the other. Mm-hmm. I've never understood that. So this is like a small weird element of luck that, sure, cool, thanks for giving me a reward of 5 points.
The tiles in the bag, too. Like, there have been so many times where we need 2 out of the 3 possible tiles, and we're drawing 2, and we just draw 2 of the one we don't need.
Yeah, because there's only 4 possible combinations of the 4, or 3 possible combinations of the 4 terrain, and so that's just an element of luck. Like, oh no, I drew 2 identical tiles. I needed literally anything but these.
I got so many of these this game. These ones that had the farmland and the whatever the city on them, the townsfolk thingy.
Townsfolk, yeah. Country roads take me to the town. Yeah, so the tiles are a weird element of luck.
These were huge. This was huge luck for me to be able to get multiple ship things and to get them early on enough that I was able to focus on ships because I originally wasn't going to. And then this one, that got me how many points in the end? So that got me 3 points here, 1 point for that. And then it got me a coin and it let me pass some other stuff. So it was almost 5 points that I got from this one card that I drew. Whereas if I had gotten like any other useless card, I couldn't have gotten that many points.
If your hand of 4 cards was only like build a statue or, build another building, stuff that you just didn't have, like...
Yeah, that I wasn't accidentally set up for.
So that hurt me a lot because the game, if you had 5 points fewer... It would have been 26 to 25. I wouldn't have won, but it would have been closer. And so it's weird to me that building a big building on your last turn could potentially draw you the card that you need to win. Like that's weird to me. I've played games of this where I draw these little ability cards and I draw 4 of them and none of them work for me. Maybe it's too late in the game to pivot towards it or it doesn't tie in with what I want to do. And so these kind of irk me. I'm grateful you draw 4, pick 1, but I've been burned by them before, and I've multiple times seen Wendy get some great synergy from them.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, you could house rule it so that you draw 8, or you draw 10, or whatever. I mean, that's the way... Chris and I are very, very lax with each other. If things, like, genuinely don't work out from something that should be super, super engine useful, I'm like, just pick another 4. Just try again. But that's me.
Yeah, so just if not for how lucky this was, like I would prefer a game where you shuffle you shuffle out like 4 of these, and when you build a small building, you put one of your markers onto that building and you say, woohoo, I have that ability. Viticulture has a thing like that with special workers. So like there's something like that would make it a teensy bit less.
So you know what's out, you know what's possible ahead of time. Like these are possible ahead of time.
Yeah, exactly. It would give you more to think about maybe from the beginning, and maybe that's why it's just draw them and like, hey, cool, here's a thing, but I've been burnt by them too much to say like, I should just play better. Like, oh no, the one small like luck part of the game just hurt me. Oh no. So yeah. So that's what keeps this from being like a nearly perfect game for me or whatever. Analysis paralysis and the weird small elements of luck that can have a big effect.
But overall, I really enjoyed this game, and from the first time I played it, I was like, oh, I want to understand this game better. I think I got 16 points. But I did. I wanted to understand.
What kind of loser scores 16 points?
I really, really wanted to understand how to make it work. First game I played, I went heavy ships. I tried to do all the ships and I did like nothing else.
All the income boats.
Sorry, income boats. And I did like nothing else. And I very like last minute got my 3rd worker out or whatever it was. And it just didn't jive very well. And so I was like, oh, you have to work on multiple things. And so then I started working on multiple things. And I love it. Like I was able to do 3 things. That's amazing.
That's true. That's really good. Yeah. And you still specialized in something, the thing that I wanted to specialize in. So that's a balancing act of specialization to get a lot of points, but also breadth to get your workers or to upgrade them or whatever. It's a fantastic game. It's hard for me to wrap my head around. Sometimes when I have a bad game, I feel like I'm not smart enough for this game. But when I have a good game like this, it's incredibly rewarding. So I'm a little bit kind of torn on how I feel about it. But this is definitely my favorite game that Capstone has released in the last year or so. I think that this is an incredibly clever game and has the potential to make me feel clever when I play it, has the potential to make me feel angry and dumb and just out of luck when I play it. So for me, it's like mixed, but very positive mixed. I did immediately want to play this again, and we've played this a ton this week, which we don't always play games back to back to back like this. So that speaks to me volumes about the quality of this game, even if it frustrates me sometimes.
And there's definitely so much to explore on it. So we're Meeple Overboard. Thanks for watching.